The water in the bathroom stopped. Sissy Tang changed into another black Lolita dress and walked out. Short for Gothic Lolita. Shu Feng. Asterisk 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 asterisk. What kind of clothes I buy? Shu Feng, who was still talking on the phone, almost burst out laughing after glancing at Tang Shishir, a high-flying royal lady, suddenly wearing kawaii clothes. Simply, he'd even forgotten what clothes he'd bought last time, basically buying them in a haphazard manner as the clerk introduced them to him. You kids still dare to talk dirty to me, don't you? I tell you. As a result, the mom on the other end of the phone mistook it for talking to her, and gave another angry rebuke, scolding Chu Feng. It's your mother? Tang Shishir asked with a raised eyebrow as she looked at the strange clothes she was wearing next to her, while also listening to the conversation between the two men at the same time. Wait, is there a woman talking? Didn't you just say you were home? Had to praise mom's hearing. Chu Feng himself is extremely speechless. This damn can hear? He's not even on speakerphone yet. I would like to meet your mother. What kind of being is she among the people? Tang Shishir was suddenly curious. Since Chu Feng was consciously reincarnating, he must have chosen a good place to reincarnate. So his mother must be extraordinary. Chu Feng? Good for you, kid. Got a girlfriend already, don't you? The phone was hung up just as the sentence was finished. After only a few seconds, a Microsoft video call came through. Dead. Chu Feng swallowed his saliva. He couldn't say that this woman was his girlfriend. Could he? At the same time, I was surprised at the speed of learning of my mom, who, being in a rural area, did not even know how to use a smartphone a few years ago. Now every day brush short video, play WeChat, play Mahjong, fight landlords, play more than their own flowers. What to do? To pick up or not to pick up? Big sister, do me a favor. Chu Feng looked at Tang Shishir. What is it? Act like my girlfriend. Wife. Asshole. You let this seat be your wife? Tang Shishir gnashed her teeth in anger, itching to cut this person down with a sword. Fake. Just pretending. Fake won't do. If it gets out, how will this seat gain a foothold in the demon realm in the future? Tang Shishir had a cold face. It was because of this guy's kiss that caused her Dao heart to be unstable in the first place, and now she had the audacity to ask for such a thing. Hearing that people were unwilling, Chu Feng also immediately sank his face and said frankly, don't forget, the two of us are now in a cooperative relationship, helping each other. Isn't that what you said? Tang Shishir was dumbfounded. She suddenly felt changed. In the old days, she was a man of few words and not much chatter, but now he not only talks more, but even his mood changes several times a day. There is joy. There is worry. In the past, when they were in the demon clan, everyone was afraid of her and flattered her. No one dared to say a word of no, but in reality, everyone was harboring evil intentions. Until now, she noticed that she seemed to have become a lot more cheerful. Was it because of the contact with the human race? Is she still the same demon lord she once was? Tang Shishir was bewildered, even a little unwilling to believe it. So, you said it was faked. It's just dealing with my mother. Relax. Seeing that the person reluctantly agreed, Chu Feng was relieved and connected the video call. Otherwise, if there is suddenly a woman in the room and she doesn't admit to being her girlfriend, I'm afraid that my mom will have to think that she is soliciting a prostitute. The video had just been connected, and a middle-aged woman who looked about 50 years old appeared inside the screen, with a short head of hair, and a few white strands could already be vaguely seen. No, our future daughter-in-law is here. Chu Feng moved the camera in front of Tang Shishir. Maybe it is the old eyes are not good. Mom also half squinting eyes carefully look at a long time before asking. Quite good looking, and white skin. That girl, what's your name? Introduce it to auntie. After learning that his son had a girlfriend, his mom, who was still cursing, immediately became kind, with a pleased smile on her face. My mother is asking you your name. Don't speak in a garbled dialect. Just answer auntie yes, then say your name. Then find an excuse to say you're leaving. Chu Feng sent a voice over to her in his mind, fearing that this woman would spit out her dialect again and freak out her old mom later. Tang Shishir looked up at him before continuing to stare at the screen with an indifferent face. Hello auntie, this miss is called Tang Shishir. That, mom, asterisk 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 asterisk. Let you say the name. You bring a this lady do what? Chu Feng completely collapsed plus was speechless. Didn't you say introduction? You're not allowed to use this seat. Can't this lady use it too? The author didn't come up short and feeble this time, did she? Ask for a reward. Ask for recommendations. Request for monthly tickets. Please finish the page. End of chapter. Chapter 22 This daughter-in-law is quite kind. Xiao reading. Chapter 22 This daughter-in-law is quite kind. Xiao reading. Put a smart face on it. Reintroduce yourself. And derail this lady. Chu Feng transmitted his voice to her, and even mimicked the woman with his tone. I don't speak in that tone. Tang Shirshir was stunned for a moment and immediately retorted. The gentle way of speaking gave her goosebumps as she watched. Then it's always okay to put a natural tone, right? With some emotion. Then I'll try. After brewing her emotions for a while, Tang Shirshir lowered her head to look at the cell phone screen again, red lips slightly open. And want to say. Never can not say. It's annoying. Seeing someone still requires this seat to go through so much trouble. Before only other people saw her. Now she actually needs her to pretend to meet someone. The girl is shy, isn't she? It's okay. Auntie has been there before. Mom may have noticed Tang Shirshir was different, wanting to speak but unable to speak, and immediately understood the reason for this. After all, she had been there before, and it was inevitable that she would be nervous about meeting her parents for the first time. So, your name is Shirshir, right? What kind of work do you do? Perhaps Tang Shirshir is too beautiful. The mom seems a little uneasy, began to get to the bottom of the matter. After all, she didn't quite believe that her son could find such a beautiful, well-built girlfriend. Chu Feng sat aside, and after hearing his mom's question on the other end hurriedly transmitted a voice, say you're in sales, and relax your expression a little more. After all, with her kind of temperament, she's either a model or a salesperson. I'm in sales. Tang Shirshir clenched her teeth, her voice as small as possible, so that it sounded a lot gentler. Sales? That's selling things, right? Auntie doesn't know much about it, but I can tell you're quite a good-looking girl, and Auntie likes it. After asking a few questions one after another, Mom turned the tables and started praising her in all kinds of ways. This sentence almost let Chu Feng fall from the chair. Which ing look out of the face of goodness. That. Mom, it's getting late. We'll hang up now, haha. Seeing Tang Shirshir fall into silence, Chu Feng directly aimed the position of his cell phone camera on his side. Just after that, he was the first to hang up the video call. What is your mother's cultivation? Tang Shirshir raised her eyebrows inquiringly, her tone suddenly a bit strange. She, a mortal, just an ordinary human, no cultivation. This time Chu Feng did not fool around. After all, the old mom's pale face and demeanor, how to look at it was not like a cultivator of immortality, and it was estimated that she could not be swindled. No wonder. Tang Shirshir nodded and didn't continue to say much, getting up and wanting to walk back to the bedroom. Is there a problem? Seeing that this woman was suddenly so eccentric, Chu Feng felt slightly uneasy and hurriedly called out to her. This, replied Tang Shirshir faintly after a long moment of hesitation. Take your mother to see the great physicians or cultivators of this realm. She is terminally ill, and if she is not cured, I fear her days are numbered. The moment these words came out, Chu Feng was like a thunderbolt from a clear sky. How could this person who still looked fine? How did you learn about it? And what is the disease? He slowed down and took Tang Shirshir's arm. Well, it's not considered a major illness for cultivators, but it's fatal to ordinary mortals. After a long moment of thought, she explained slowly, just now a short observation. This seat carefully end of a number of, would like to see your mother is for the cultivation, but did not think. Before Tang Shirshir finished speaking, Chu Feng asked for the first time in a pleading tone, can you go back to my hometown with me? Ask for recommendations, ask for a reward, request for monthly tickets, big chapter at night, no short and feeble authors. End of chapter. Chapter 23 Strange Dreams, request for catch-up reading. Chapter 23 Strange Dreams, request for catch-up reading. Tang Shirshir was stunned for a moment. This was the first time she had heard Chu Feng's tone of begging so much. Doesn't he know that the most taboo thing about cultivating immortality is to harbor 7 emotions and 6 desires? The stronger one's attachment to the worldly world, the greater the heart demons one encounters when breaking through bottlenecks. Wouldn't someone who had been in the immortal king realm not know about it? This matter is important to me. Chu Feng spoke again, knowing that with such cultivation as Tang Shirshir's, wanting to save a mortal was simply as easy as a slap in the face. If he also possessed immortal king realm strength in reality, not to mention saving people, even prolonging his mom's life for 10,000 years would be a breeze. But the problem was that he didn't have one and had to ask for help. Seeing her hesitation, Chu Feng pondered for a moment and continued. My old home is located in the deep mountains. That place is known to the ancients as the secret realm of the separated heavens. The spiritual chi might be abundant, and it could also help you recover. This sentence is not that Chu Feng is making things up. His old home is located in the neighboring province of Xiujia village, surrounded by mountains on 3 sides. Although the mountainous terrain is dangerous, lofty mountains, but also bells and whistles. It is said that in the past, there were ancient people who had seen immortals infesting the deep mountains, but it is only a legend. But what is certain is that the feng shui location there is excellent, and it is a great place to retire at home and live out your old age. Really? Tang Shirshir's eyes flashed with a hint of delight as her divine sense spread out over the hundreds of miles around her. The auras were all extremely thin. If this place really existed, then she was bound to travel there. At least it's much denser than here. As for what level it reaches, you still need to see it for yourself, Chu Feng replied after thinking for a while. After all, although he guessed that the aura in his old home might be a bit more dense, he didn't know exactly how. Tang Shishir also hesitated for a few seconds, but this time she readily agreed, and didn't say anything about what would happen if she was lied to. When do we leave? She inquired. Chu Feng pondered for a moment after hearing that and replied, we will set out at 5 o'clock and return with the imperial sword. Because if he went by car from his current location, not only was it a long way to go, but he would have to change cars 3 times in the middle of the journey, which was very troublesome. If she let this woman ride her sword, I'm afraid she would be able to arrive in the blink of an eye, and then she would set off while it was still light, so that she wouldn't be seen by the others when she landed. The imperial sword? That into it. Tang Shishir didn't refuse and casually agreed. She was just a little curious as to why she wasn't sitting in the previous magic treasure that could carry people anymore. But she didn't ask too many questions. After the two conferred, Tang Shishir went back to her room to continue meditating, while Chu Feng hit the floor in the living room after taking a shower and slept peacefully. For mom's illness, as long as this woman is willing to do something, then there is no need to worry at all. Only just after falling asleep, Chu Feng had a strange dream. He dreamed that the world he was in collapsed, and the sky cracked open, with countless demons and monsters emerging from it, killing humans indiscriminately. The whole world is like a hell on earth. Corpses everywhere, and Chu Feng can only watch, unable to speak or move. When he calmed down, he realized that many of the demons were actually ones he had seen before, the very same monsters from the Immortal Demon game. As he panicked and helpless, he suddenly saw a bloody old man rise from the dead crowd, hunched over his staff and hobbling, step by step, toward him. It was only after the distance had gotten closer that Chu Feng was surprised to find that this person was actually Chen Jiannan. He kept opening his mouth as if he wanted to say something, but Chu Feng could not hear anything. It's 5 o'clock. Suddenly, a low voice came from his ears, and only then did Chu Feng wake up and realize that Tang Shishir was standing beside him, and he was already in a cold sweat from the strange dream. What's wrong? Tang Shishir's eyebrows wrinkled slightly when she saw his strange demeanor. Chu Feng slowed down and shook his head, squeezing out a smile on his face and said, it's fine, just a nightmare. At least you were once in the immortal king realm. Is your Dao heart so fragile? Tang Shishir couldn't help but mock him. After all, a cultivator having nightmares would be laughed at when told. When Chu Feng heard that, he was immediately offended. Tanya said, fellow Taoist Tang's Dao heart, it doesn't seem to be too robust either, being a cultivator and having so many emotions. What's the word? Tang Shishir froze. Seeing her curiosity, Chu Feng opened the video taken by the last camera after pulling out his cell phone. Only in the picture, Tang Shishir looked like a curious baby, walking in her around inside the living room uniform, looking here and there. JK, then ran to open the fridge again, took out the milk and sniffed it before finally spotting the lollipop. After she took a lick of the post lollipop, her cold demeanor instantly became like a little girl's, a look of joy. I guess I also felt that there was no one around, so I started to let myself go. Tang Shishir was dumbfounded. She had clearly covered the surrounding area with her divine sense at that time. There was simply no one else who had seen this scene. But why? I didn't realize that the Supreme Demon Clan has such a cute side. Chu Feng took his cell phone back, fearing that she would give it another chop. Tang Shishir was dumbfounded, not even daring to look directly at this man. At this moment, she hated to find a crack in the ground to drill in. Just that like action and look. If it is seen by other people in the immortal and demon continent, I am afraid that she can laugh at her for a few thousand years, because in everyone's eyes, she was the murderous, cold-blooded and ruthless demon empress who almost never gave anyone else a good look. Even many of the emotions only started to show after she came to this dimension. Ahem. I forgot to remind you before that this house is also my magic treasure, so I'm privy to anything that happens in it when you're not using a special barrier to protect it, Chu Feng said in a mysterious manner. Actually, the extra line about being invisible if you add a barrier means that she really can't see herself when she's in the shower. Otherwise, the next second, this woman might have already slashed her sword over. After hearing the explanation, Tang Shishir's face instantly sank. Did you really forget? Or did you purposely not talk to me about it? I really did forget. Besides, there's nothing to see. It's getting late. We'd better get going. After packing up some of his belongings, a subtle point of light had flown out of the neighborhood while it was still light. High up in the air, the two of them had their feet on flying swords and were traveling in the air. In order